Welcome back to Writer's Workshop. Writers write about all kinds of things. They write to teach you something, like when we read the book Surprising Swimmers and we learned about the different animals. The cats like to swim and how tigers liked to swim, and even the polar bear. We read a poem by Langston Hughes. Do you remember that? Where that told us sometimes people write to tell you something that happened that's really important in their life. Sometimes people write to tell a story that they want you to know. Let's go back to our story, The Wonky Donkey. So let's look and see about the Wonky Donkey and remember some of the places that he went. So we had the Wonky Donkey. He was traveling down the road. And then we notice that the author told us more about the donkey in that he only had 3 legs. Then as we continue on, he had 3 legs and 1 eye. And so these are things that are telling a story. Well, today we're going to go back and we're going to notice that we're going to tell our readers about little details that help to make the story come alive. So today I'm going to teach you that we can stretch a story out by making books. And on each page, we're going to tell a little bit about something that happened to you. For example, I could write about a trip I took to go see my sister. Let me think about that trip in my head. Oh, because it was important to me. So before I write, I really like to think aloud. I like to think out loud before I write. And so it might sound something like this. I flew to California to visit my sister. And when I came off the airplane, she was there waiting for me. I gave her a huge hug. And each morning we rode our bikes to the beach to have breakfast. And every night we would stay up late talking and laughing about old stories and memories. It was kind of sad to say goodbye to her, but I knew that we would be together again soon. So I was thinking, wouldn't it be really cool if we could make books like some of the authors that we've already read about in our class? So now I want to think about what my book cover might look like. So I'm going to open up my writing journal and I'm going to leave 1 page blank because I want to have a book cover. So I'm going to leave that page blank and we'll come back to it after I do my story. So I'm going to come to the very next page after that, and that's where I'm going to start my story. So I use this page, and I have to remember now what happened first. So I think I will draw a picture of my sister and I hugging, because that's kind of the first thing that happens. I went to visit her on an airplane, so maybe I'll even put the airplane in the picture. And so let's go here. We'll just start by drawing this airplane here. Awesome. Maybe this one can be better than my last one. All right. Awesome. So here's kind of my airplane. And remember, airplanes, we talked about that before. Airplanes kind of have windows. And they've got a big door, and then the pilot gets to look out the front window. So I'm going to go ahead and color this. Planes are, most of the time, like a silver color. So I'm going to go ahead and add those details to my writing. So this is just the first part of my story. I'm going to save some of my story for me to write a different time. So today we're going to write across pages. We're going to start our story on this page, and then we're going to be able to go on to the next part of my story. So I'm drawing my picture. Let's draw my sister. I think we'll draw her here. She's kind of got brown hair. All right, so we'll start with her face. She's happy to see me, so we're going to put a smile on her face. I mean, who wouldn't be happy to see someone they haven't seen in a while? She's got dark hair too, longer hair, kind of like me. And then I'm going to draw myself here. I'm shorter. And we're hugging, so I'm going to kind of draw me with my back to you. And so I'll put a shirt on here. Here's her shirt and her arm. And her arm's kind of wrapped around my back because we're hugging each other. And then we'll put my shirt is here. Awesome. And so I'm just kind of showing that my sister and I are here and we're hugging. Let's give her some pants too. Awesome. All right, so we are hugging. Here's my sister, here's myself. Let's draw the runway because, you know, the plane has to land on the runway. We talked about that before in our writing. So let's draw that detail on here. And then the runway usually has some grass on either side of it. Move this up a little so you can see. So I'm just going to put some green grass here and down here. So this, remember, is the beginning of my story. So in the beginning of the story, I get on a plane and I go to California to visit my sister. I'm going to put some sun because, you know, I much prefer to fly on a sunny day or at least a clear day. So we're going to put this guy in there. Now, I don't have a whole lot of time, so I'm going to go ahead and jump down to my sentence now. I want to stretch this story over a few pages. So I'm going to start with just the first part of my story. So I drew the picture of my sister and I hugging, and now I'm going to add the words, I went to see my sister in California. So that's where I'm going to write here. Now, to help me, I might need to pull out my ABC chart to help me spell some of those really hard words. So let's start here. The first line, so I know I start all the way at the left. I went, and I went to California. Oh, so that's a hard word, California, and it's a name. So let's start here. Excuse me. California. So I need a C, and I'm going to put an uppercase C because it's the name of a state. So oh, let me look at my chart. Oh, lion. That's an L. California. I went to California to see, ooh, that's my sight word. I can check my chart. See. I went to California to see my, another sight word, sister. Let's stretch out that word, sister. Sister. I went to California to see my sister. All right. Now let's see. After I've written my sentence, I like to write the correct version of the words underneath. If I'm checking, I went to California, good. That looks good. So now I want to look at all of these sounds. We've done so good stretching those sounds, using our chart to help us spell those really tricky words. So, guess what? Today, you're going to start your first book. I want you to do what I just did. Think of something that happened to you and write down what happened first. Just first, we're going to tomorrow finish or continue our story. So this is just what happened first in my story. I went to California to see my sister. You're just going to draw a picture. So think hard of something that happened to you and write down what happened first. Draw it the best you can. Does it have to be perfect? No, just do your best. Add words to help your reader understand your writing. Writers always start with the first page in a new book. So today you're going to start with the first page in your book. And then we're going to have a chance to share that with me on your seesaw activity today. So happy writing. I can't wait to see the start of your stories.